Folks, thanks for coming on the line with us today. This is John Dubas with the brokerage. We'll spend the next half hour to 45 minutes or so discussing one of your carrier options that you have for a fairly robust portfolio of products, and that is the Medico programs that they have available through the Brokerage Inc. And you can actually find out additional information online about these folks as well under the different topics and categories that they have products in. So we're going to do a general overview, and then I'm going to go through and follow up on some specifics for you. This is a presentation provided to us by Medico. So this is given from a corporate point of view with Medico. And as we go along, I'm going to give you the John Dubas, the Brokerage Inc. translation of the presentation as well. Medico is actually a very established and older insurance company, been in business since 1930, very financially stable, and is located out of the Midwest. They have offices in Omaha, and in Iowa as well for their home offices, two different locations. Medico itself was recently purchased a couple of years ago now by a firm out of Iowa, hence the two corporate offices for it. It is an organization that has a particular emphasis on service, not just to the end client, which is our book of business as well, but also to you as an agent. They really do work to make doing business with their organization as simple and as easy as possible. It is a mutual company, controlling interest through another insurance company with a mutual background as well. They have probably some of the best electronic enrollment and quoting systems available in the industry. CSG Actuarial actually does a ratings program of the different electronic application processes, and Medico's came out at the top. The My Enroller system is really a cool instrument to use, and we'll talk about it in a little more depth in just a little bit. Their Medicare supplement programs have had very strong rate stability. So as we go through and we discuss different possibilities for our clients in the Medicare supplement world, one of the things we look at are the price increases renewal period over renewal period, and Medico has historically kept their rate increases to mid-single digits. So a very strong rate stability across their spectrum of products. They do have a very strong and accessible underwriting department. They pride themselves in handling their business on a very timely basis, so you don't have to sit and wait around for, boy, is it issued or not? And you have direct access to their underwriting department. So you can actually call Medico to speak to an underwriter for their programs as well. So that is a very nice resource to have when you are looking to source an individual who may have certain health concerns or something in their health history that raises a flag for you to make certain that you do what is best for your individual. So they're very easy to work with, full portfolio of products, very competitive commissions across that portfolio of products. The website, the MIC website, is really, really user-friendly, allows you to track your business both through the underwriting process and to manage your book of business with the commission structure and everything else that you can follow through the website. They do a very good job of handling your customer. And that customer that they mention here with outstanding customer service also follows up with you as their customer. Their agent support unit is very, very strong, and the way they treat your customer makes you proud to be associated with them. They have an AM Best rating of A- excellent, very strong rating, very financially stable, got a ton of cash, so the ratings companies really like them. And as I mentioned, their My Enroller application is a very user-friendly piece that allows you to work with multiple products and allows you to work with multiple devices. In addition to your laptop or desktop, it is available also on iPad and allows accessibility through different avenues through which you meet your prospects and your clients. So if you're in someone's home and you brought along your iPad instead of your laptop, well, you can still use the tool here. My Enroller system allows both the application process and the quoting through it. It is, as I mentioned, available on computers, be they desktop, laptop, or the iPad. It does allow for a passive submission of the application should you be in an area where you don't have internet access at the moment. It'll store it and allows you to send it later as you enter an area that gives you access to the internet. So it's a very cool process that allows you to transmit the applications very easily, but as part of an electronic enrollment process, it also makes certain that that application is complete for you, and it does away with one of the biggest challenges most people have with paper applications, and that is the language in which they submit that application. Some of us write in Chickenese, and it translates that obviously for you if you're doing it electronically. Very legible, very readable. I worked for a carrier a number of years ago where 80% of our applications were pended upon submission, and the vast majority of the reasoning for that is they couldn't read our handwriting. So one of the things that is a big plus for you in submitting applications on an electronic basis. That process, that My Enroller process, is available for multiple pieces of their portfolio. So it includes their Medicare Supplement portfolio, their hospital indemnity portfolio, the HIP programs, their ever popular dental, vision, and hearing program, their recovery care program, which is kind of a short-term, long-term care policy of sorts, available in certain states, and then of course their cancer policy as well, all available through the My Enroller system for application submission. Their agent support team also is very, very helpful to you. As I mentioned before, it's one of the things that Medico is noted for, is their superior agent services department. It allows you to access supplies and order them, generate the quotes, helps you understand that system I just went over so very briefly, the My Enroller system. They have trainings available for you to make certain that it is understandable and usable for you. And they also do the same thing with what they call MIC training. That's their agent website. So a way of making certain that you know how to travel across the website and make it work for you. It's also a service available for you with specific questions for specific markets about the different products that they offer. That portfolio of products, once again, includes Medicare Supplements, different programs available in different states. It does also include the dental, vision, hearing program, a standalone coupled policy that has two different levels of benefits and allows you to really pursue a niche for different segments of the market. Very, very popular in the Medicare world. It also allows you access to information on short-term recovery care. If you are one of the folks on the line that reside in the great state of Texas, well, I'm wasting your time talking about it. It's not available in Texas. But boy, in some other states, strong, really strong product. The first diagnosis cancer product. Obviously, cancer programs are a demand product. I shouldn't say cancer is a demand product. So it's a circumstance where I don't know of anybody who doesn't at least know somebody affected by cancer, a very strong demand product. The hospital indemnity programs apply across the board if you're working in the individual major medical market, be it with the under 65 programs through ACA, many of them with high deductibles that expense is most commonly incurred by a hospital stay, and through the Medicare programs For many of our Medicare Advantage plans, well, one of the biggest things that drive them up to their MOOP, to their max out of pocket quickly, are the daily hospital stay costs. So something to consider there. And then you have the opportunity to bundle on a simple Medicare, or pardon me, a final expense product, and you can do it in a bundling situation and a standalone circumstance with other products. That dental, vision, hearing product, just to reach back to it, statistics within Medico show if you ask, are you interested in dental? Half the time they're going to buy from you. It's just that question of, when dealing with dental products, particularly coupled with additional benefits for vision and hearing, you will get that yes half the time if you bring it up. It's available in the vast majority of states across the country. Obviously, the gray states, it's not. So if you live in Kentucky, California, Washington, New York, Maryland, New Jersey, Rhode Island, no, Rhode Island's in there, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Connecticut, you're out of luck. The rest of the states, boy, we got a dental, vision, hearing product for you. It is available between the ages of 18 and 89. It's applicable, as I mentioned, across the board to individual major medical policy holders or folks in that age bracket or in that market. It's very reasonably priced, under $50 a month. It covers, in addition to any other program, it is a fee-for-service program that pays on top of anything else, covers what Medicare does not. Some things to consider. If we're offering Medicare Advantage plans and we're talking about their buy-up program and their dental programs, what's that pay you? You're right, nothing additional. I don't know of a Medicare Advantage program that spiffs you for the add-on programs, no additional commissions, and a lot of times if they have a challenge with the dental program, they want to drop everything. With this, you got a separate product, a separate income stream because it is commissionable. It is available on a guarantee issue basis. The application is really simple and easy to complete, and it is a increasing benefit type of structure under the program. The longer you have it, the better off it pays. It is a program, as I mentioned, that is a fee-for-service program, and you have the option to use any provider. There is a PPO, passive PPO option available that has a ton of providers in it, and what that does is it extends the benefit because those dentists have agreed to discount the cost of services, but they can use any dentist that will accept the program, and I gotta tell you, most dentists do. For the dentists that aren't part of that passive PPO option, it pays based on reasonable and customary charges for the area and for the procedure, depending upon the procedure, up to the policy year maximum. You have there a website with fairhealthconsumer.org that helps detail those reasonable and customary charges for a particular area. The link above that with the Carrington.com MaxCare Network details the passive PPO option where they get access a dentist that has agreed to a discounted rate on their services. It is a program that has an annual deductible of $100. There are two maximum benefit choices. They can purchase $1,000 worth of benefits, $1,500 worth of benefits. And as I mentioned before, with an escalating benefit, increasing benefit, it pays 60% on the first year charges, 70 on the second year, 80 on the third year. Doesn't apply in at the higher percentages on major services. The effective date can vary between the 1st and the 28th. Why? Why not 29th or 30th? Oh, okay. Leap year this year, but February doesn't always have 29, 30, or 31 days. Not every calendar date, and not every month has 31 days. So you can set an effective date between the 1st and the 28th. The draft date is the evening of that effective date. So as they pull the monies from a bank account for it, it's done on the effective date of the policy. There is no policy fee for the program itself. You'll see that in a lot of dental programs where they charge a policy fee up front. You see that on some med sup programs even. And so it doesn't have that additional expense. It also allows for a payment regardless of any other coverage. So there's no coordination of benefits which really helps people afford that dental care, which so many of us neglect and is such a factor in our overall health and well-being. And it does allow, obviously, for a 30-day free look. Some of the things that it covers on day one includes fillings, extractions up to 4 non-surgical per policy year, excluding impacted wisdom teeth, which they'll knock you out for and then dig a pair of pliers out of their pocket for. It does cover the diagnostic x-rays and diagnostic exams and emergency palliative treatment. You need help with pain, it'll do that too. After a 3-month waiting period, it'll cover the routine exam and cleanings, 2 per policy per certificate year, and also cover routine x-rays as part of that examination. After a year, that's when the major coverages kick in, payable at 60%. So it helps with the cost of bridges, crowns, full or partial dentures after that time period. Any work related to the replacement of natural teeth that were missing at the time coverage became effective. So if you've got a partial gummer, if you got that, it's going to take care of it after a year. It also helps cover outpatient dental surgery, the endodontics, the root canals, the periodontal surgery once per quadrant in every 3 policy or certificate years. These major services are covered at 60% regardless of how long the policy's been in effect. It's not a comprehensive list. It'll be in the policy for the exact benefits. These benefits may vary by state and may not be available in every state. As I look at the list of people who are on the line, most of us are from the great state of Texas. They are available in Texas. For the vision coverage, it does allow for immediate coverage for the exams, and then after 6 months, it helps with the cost of the eyeglasses or contact lenses, payable up to $200 every 2 policy or certificate years. This amount does apply against that policy maximum. So if they've chosen $1,000 or $1,500, it applies against the maximum as well. When you look at the hearing coverage, the exams and the hearing aids do have a year layout, a waiting period of a year, and those benefits are payable up to $500 per policy or certificate year, and does also apply against the policy year maximum benefit. So you've got comprehensive coverage in 3 areas of concern, particularly for seniors, if you want to put it that way. You can't call Medicare recipients because you got 1/7 of that population under 65. But these are areas of concern for the Medicare population: dental, vision, and hearing. So the DVH program is of great interest to our books of business. The rates, well, they vary according to how old you are, and it is based on a bank draft system. At $1,000 max, you're going from $29 a month to $38 a month. If you're going on a $1,500 benefit, you're looking at $37 through $49. Some people will automatically go, yeah, what are we getting for that money? I'm getting $1,500 and I'm paying $49 as an 82-year-old. Well, an 82-year-old can do the basic math at $49 times 12. Ew, wow, it is $588. I'll swap $588 for $1,500. Consider that. When you look then too about the different additional compensation that a company may offer you, Medico is very strong on a bonus program for travel, and it is called their Go Travel program. The dental, vision, and hearing benefit and the other products apply to it, and it accounts for qualifications for multiple areas, which is really cool because this is a program unlike a lot of the trips that you can win with a carrier. You don't go with a bunch of carrier reps and with a bunch of other agents. You're picking a location based on your qualification level, and you're setting it up. There's not a medical rep along with you. It's your vacation that you earned by selling the medical products. When you look at their cancer product, it too is available on a widespread basis. Once again, looking at our attendees today, great state of Texas, yep, it's available here. It helps pay for non-covered expenses that you see a lot of times with other coverages, so the deductibles and co-insurance, any Part D coverage gap that you have with medications for those afflicted by cancer. and also helps cover non-covered prescriptions and treatment programs. Sometimes we forget that a Part D program or medication coverages, most of the time they're very heavily formulary based, and if the drug's not on that, they don't get the help. This can help with that shortfall. And it also helps with those personal expenses, such as the travel costs for treatment, child care, lost wages, help with the mortgage and rent that you're having difficulty earning the monies for because of the treatment time, and hey, I'm just not up to it. And it also helps with that personal debt. These are obviously a fee-for-service program that pays in addition to any other coverage and pays to the insured. It's available between the ages of 18 and 79. There's no policy fee for this either, and it pays a lump sum directly to the policyholder in increments of 10, 15, 20, or $25,000. Very competitive rates. As I mentioned, pays in addition to any other coverage, has optional inflation benefit that you can layer onto it, and is a very simplified application. Where DVH is guaranteed acceptance, this has 3 health questions that need to be answered in the fashion they need to be answered in order to be issued. The short-term recovery care product is available in widespread distribution, but unfortunately not here in the state of Texas. It is a program that is a neat kind of transition between having no coverage and having a full-blown long-term care policy. It is becoming increasingly difficult to find a carrier that actually offers a long-term care policy, for one thing, but they are awfully expensive. And this allows a person to have some coverage without paying that full-blown high-priced premium you have with a long-term care policy. It's also used by those that have an LTCI policy and want to fill the elimination gaps. A lot of times you'll see people take a long-term care policy and have a 90, 120-day elimination gap deductible for it, basically, that will cause them some pain in the meantime before it kicks in. So something to consider there. For those who can't qualify for, bear me, I've got some background noise. There we go, hopefully. For those who can't afford a long-term care policy at all, this is a great stopgap. It also helps for those who can't qualify for the long-term care policy. The programs that are being offered by carriers out there are highly underwritten, and this also helps for those folks who might have a Medicare Advantage plan that has a skilled care copay that's a little higher than they would like to see. Some of the different things that it does, it is similar to long-term care policies, but with some significant differences. It's obviously much more affordable. The premiums are much easier to handle. It doesn't require the long-term care partnership training certification. The underwriting is less stringent, and there isn't a 90-day physician certification required to file claim upon the policy. It does have survivor and inflation benefit riders available. Don't have to be there, but they are available, and it does pay in addition to any other coverage. So if a person has Medicare and a Med Supp or Medicare only or Medicare Advantage programs or any other type of health insurance, it pays in addition to it. The benefits are paid out in a daily benefit amount between the amounts of $100 and $300 in $10 increments. Obviously, the more coverage, the higher the premium. It has 3 options for the elimination period. It can be effective right away, 0 days election, a 15-day election period or elimination period, and a 30-day elimination period. It will last a third of the year, 2/3 of a year, or a year, basically, 120 days, 240 days, or 360 days. And it does have a one-time restoration of benefits provision. In order to qualify, a person has to have either cognitive impairment or 2 of 6 ADLs in place for it to qualify. So they've got to have 2 things that impede them in their daily living that would enable them to claim on the policy. The benefits do vary from state to state, and some, as I mentioned, it isn't available in every state, not here in Texas. It is available between the ages of 18 and 79, once again, with no policy fee. It is a program available with a household discount in certain states. So in those circumstances, if there are two people living in the residence over the age of 18, they don't have to both be policyholders, but if one takes it out and there's someone else living in the house, they do qualify for the household discount. It is unisex rates, so it doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl, you get the same rate, one underwriting class. It is individually issued, guaranteed renewable, and no attained age premium adjustments. So it doesn't go up as the person gets older. Big thing when you get older and you really become concerned about this type of coverage. It covers the nursing facility confinement. It covers assisted living facilities, home health care, adult daycare, and hospice care. It is too also part of a special incentive program, and with the Go Travel incentive program. This is still showing the 2015 program. It does renew and continue in 2016. Hospital indemnity programs are a needed piece with any type of individual health coverage that we see commonly out there, outside of perhaps a Med Sup policy. Two of the things that push us to out-of-pocket expenditures very quickly are critical illness. We talked about that a little bit with the first diagnosis cancer policy, and then if you go into the hospital. This product too is available on a widespread basis across the country, including the great state of Texas, and it's a really cool way of providing peace of mind for stopgap pieces that can really drive up a person's medical cost not covered by other coverages, or independent of that other coverage as well. And it does pay directly to the policyholder. There are two target options. One is based for folks between 40 and 85. One is based, options 2 and 3, I should say 2 are based, for folks between the ages of 18 and 85. It's not necessarily available in all states. It really helps those Medicare copay clients. So as I mentioned, not so much a Plan F or Plan C or something that covers the hospital expenditures completely, but you pull any Medicare Advantage policy, you got a daily rate when someone's in the hospital. Having them have an option to cover that for peace of mind can make a huge difference for you. It also helps, as I mentioned, with the individual major medical clients, so the folks that you've put on a bronze plan with a high deductible, they're worried about what if I go in the hospital. This really helps take care of that, and it's a great piece too for those high deductible F plans. We talked about that on our Medicare Supplement Quote Engine webinar, where it's a great option for a lot of folks who understand it. This helps those folks minimize premiums and still plan for that contingency if it happens. You have 3 base benefits that are available with multiple benefit riders that come as part of it, so different levels of assistance. It is simplified issue. They do some basic underwriting on it through questions, but it is not guarantee issue. It does offer a household discount of 7%. So the same situation where if that person lives in a household with another person over the age of 18, whether or not they're a policyholder of Medico, you got a 7% discount applied to the premium across the country except in Pennsylvania. It is available as part of that My Enroller system through the electronic application process. Once again, no policy fee or application fee. Really simple to complete this application. The options that are available, I mentioned option 1 for the ages of 40 to 85. This pays for each day of confinement in a hospital. You have a choice for the number of days between 6 and 10, and the amount per day can vary between $250 to $600 in $25 increments. So you can do a $275, a $300, a $500 per day benefit. And a lot of times you'll want to base that on the average cost of care of a hospital in your area. Going off of that as a base unit to try to figure out how much coverage someone needs. There is, of course, the premium commitment that can make a difference too. It does cover the observation unit, so 50% of that hospital confinement benefit per day for a maximum of 3 days per calendar year while receiving services in an observation unit of a hospital. So what? Well, think about this. What's been in the news a whole lot? A bunch of people going into the emergency room and being held in an observation status instead of being admitted into the hospital, and that can affect how their base policy pays. Well, it will affect how that base policy pays. So that's a bigger benefit than you might think. The mental health benefit pays $175 a day of confinement in the hospital due to a covered mental or nervous disorder for a maximum of 7 days. It also helps with that emergency room benefit where it pays $100 per day, $150 per day for a maximum of 3 days per calendar year while receiving services in the hospital emergency room, provided the treatment is followed within 24 hours with a hospital admission of at least a 24-hour stay. So it helps deal with the folks that seek that care through the ER. The options 2 and 3. 2 is for the ages between 18 and 85, so you got a wider spread of ages that the program is available to. It pays a lump sum confinement per benefit period, and that allows you to pick that amount between $1,500, $2,000, or $2,500 payable up to 3 times per calendar year. So kind of like the lump sum payment on the cancer policy. Instead of per service, like what option 1 sees, it's per confinement. The option 3 is for that same age period of 18 to 35, but this is a larger lump sum of $5,000, 1 for 1 from day 1 for 1 policy confinement per year. So it gives you an option of 3 different types of benefit structures. A variant that comes into play obviously is the age of the individual. All 3 options are available between 40 and 85. Options 2 and 3 extend that down to age 18. And all of these policy options include a $1,000 accidental death and disability benefit, dismemberment benefit, pardon me. The optional benefit riders we referred to a little earlier include an ambulance benefit option, so it pays $250 for ground or air transportation for a combined maximum of 3 claims per calendar year. This isn't applicable for ages 81 and over. So if you've written a policy on any of the 3 options for those last 5 years of eligibility, doesn't apply for the ambulance. The outpatient rehab services option is available for $15 for a maximum of 15 or 30 days per calendar year. Also helps pay $50 per day for days 1 through 20 on a daily skilled nursing home benefit rider. So if that person has Medicare, that SNF unit, you'll see a lot of times the first 20 days have some variance in payment on the Medicare Advantage programs, a great way to help people out in that transition period. It also allows for a skilled nursing home benefit rider of 100 to 150 days for days 21 through 100. So where Medicare usually kicks in at 100%, doesn't always play that way. Some of the Medicare Advantage plans gives you the flexibility of making certain you can cover that as well. It includes an option for a lump sum cancer benefit, so payments of $1,000 to $2,500, $5,000, $7,500, or $1,000 or $10,000 as a lump sum, 1 per lifetime. Not available in the last 6 years of the policies being eligibility either. The accidental death and dismemberment option is a lump sum of $5,000, $10,000, or $20,000, and it pays for a loss of life, 2 limbs or both eyes, and 50% of the benefit for the loss of 1 limb or an eye. 1 benefit payment per lifetime. Once again, not available in the later stages of eligibility in the program. Confinement days. A confinement day is a period of care that begins with the first day of confinement as an inpatient in a hospital. It ends when the insured has been out of the hospital for 60 continuous days. So for as an example, if a lady has chosen the 6-day option and she's hospital for 5 days and discharged, and she goes 60 continuous days outside of the hospital, she's once again re-eligible for the full 6 days of benefits. In an observation benefit, this pays 50% of the hospital confinement amount per day for a maximum of 3 days. This will pay for observation that's less than 24 hours. Remember, the majority of the observation stays are for less than 24 hours. When you look at their Medicare supplement programs, Medico is very strong in a number of counties in the great state of Texas and across the country. This is a program that this company has been offering for over 40 years. Very competitive rates. As I mentioned before at the start of the presentation, their single-digit rate adjustments of 4.2% average over the last 4 years is very, very strong. 80% of the applications that are on paper and faxed to them or mailed to them, if you were that sort, that data is entered within 2 days, and from the time period to in underwriting, it takes 2 days on average. So that's what we were talking about with a very fast turnaround time in underwriting. Policies are fulfilled on average of those 4 days. It's quicker if you use the electronic application process. Underwriters conduct their own PHI call. So this isn't a company that if they have a question on the application and they're reaching out to the applicant, they don't have a third party that is intervening in that, so it speeds the process as well. And it is a program that is available without a policy fee. Many of the Medicare supplement plans have gone to a one-time policy fee upon application. The household discount is a 7% discount that's applied to policies under the Medico MedSup policies in these states: Arizona, Colorado, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Maryland, Michigan, North Carolina, West Virginia, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. If you are in the states of Alabama, Iowa, Louisiana, Nebraska, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Wisconsin, and the great state of Texas, that's a 12% household discount. Remember what that is. As long as there's 2 people over the age of 18 living in the house, they get that discount even if both people aren't policyholders. So 1 person in the house, as long as they get over 18, and the person over the age of 18 living with them, they get a discount. It varies according to the state. The product availability, well, when you look at this, it's available in a whole lot of states, and it's extremely competitive in about half of them, very competitive in others, extremely competitive in the state of Texas. And that travel program is really cool. So with underwritten business, and in certain areas they get additional qualifying units with your premium, it allows you the flexibility of any choice of different levels. So if you look at level 1, this is a choice of 4 destinations. You can hit New York, you can go through the Caribbean on a 5-night cruise, hit Puerto Vallarta for 4 days, or you can go into Santa Fe, New Mexico on that base level at $100,000 production. You get $10,000 of additional production at $110,000 level. You've got choices of these, where you can go to Cabo San Lucas, Orlando, Florida, the Dominican Republic, or the Riviera Maya. All of them are really cool destinations, and just $10,000 of production more than level 1. You go into level 3, you have options available in San Francisco, Park City, Utah, a 7-night Caribbean cruise, or 3 nights in Vancouver. You hit 130% production in level 4. You got 3-night spa experience in Tucson, a really cool resort. You can go to the Turks or Caicos for 5 nights, 5 nights in Aruba, or 6 nights all-inclusive as well, like the Aruba trip is in St. Lucia. If you're at a level 5 with $150,000 of production in a calendar year, you've got qualification choices for Iceland, an air combat experience, 3 days of fly fishing in Montana, or 7 nights Alaska cruise experience. And tell you what, from what I understand, the Alaska cruise is one of the neatest cruises you can select. If you got up to $170,000 worth of production, they'll ship you off to Oahu and Maui for 6 nights, or you can go to Costa Rica for a week, London and Paris for a week, or a 2-night world champion experience in NASCAR. Some really cool things at $170,000 worth of production. So kind of in summary with this, why Medico? Been in business since 30, strong financial rating, policyholders help dictate the choices the company makes. You got extremely competitive med sup rates with strong rate stability. You got a best in industry enrollment tool, a really helpful website for agents, an agent services department you can actually talk to and get help from. They have superior customer service for the folks you enroll, a really robust portfolio of products. Commissions are very competitive. You have the option to e-contract should you choose to do so. You've got that incentive trip, that access to the underwriters, and it's just overall a very company that's very easy to do business with. So some really cool things that you can do with Medico. And if you take and you peek on the website, go to the different product types, and it'll allow you a comparison of the programs with the different products that are part of what you're looking for. Medico's got that great portfolio, so it allows you the DVH piece of it. And right now, one of the things that we're constantly looking for are additional ways to supplement our income in February. Man, how am I going to see people? How am I going to make a buck? We're out of open enrollment. What do I got to do for Plan B? This is a program that allows you to do a lot of business over the telephone or electronically with a demand product, with the dental, vision, hearing products. So you've got some really cool pieces that come as part of it. We've talked in other webinars about the viability of the Medicare supplement programs. Use our Medicare supplement quote engine to show just how competitive Medico is for you in your market. Really cool way of making it work for you, and it can give you some really nice information right off the website. So a lot of the things that we saw as we rolled through the PowerPoint presentation is available to you right there on the website. Really simple to contract. You can use our SuranceBay agent information site where you set up your profile and select Medico electronically to contract that way, or we can send you a link specifically for Medico and then utilize some of the different pieces that we have available for you to get you in front of people on a lead basis, different marketing support and pieces that are available for you. Pardon me, I went one not far enough. So you got some different things that you can use for it. When we talk about mailers, one of the mailers that draw the highest percentage is a very simple mailer for dental, vision, and hearing products. Consistently draws a good response. It allows you to follow up, in this circumstance, electronically or run through a full disclosure of products and get you in front of people. When I look at the names of the people who are on this call, I recognize several names of folks who are very pivotable, shall I put it that way. You get in a house, you can do a simple fact finder, and you can take care of the need that they are expressing the interest in, the dental, vision, hearing product, and it gives you the opportunity to pivot and sell additional product and load your pipeline for the fall should it be a Medicare individual. So what we've done today is basically go through a number of programs through a single carrier that gives you first-class service, top commissions, and electronic means to maximize your most valuable resource, which is your time. Watch for some of the follow-up to today's presentation. You'll be receiving an email from us today with a recording to today's presentation in case that caffeine is much too serious in my life right now and I spoke too fast. Be able to review the presentation once again, and also with links to some of the key components that we talked about through the course of today's presentation. Information on Medico, contracting possibilities, and the different marketing and training support that you have available here at the brokerage. I want to thank you for coming on the line with us here today. We appreciate the investment of that most valuable resource you have, your time. Thank you for spending some of that with us here today. Watch for the follow-up, and we will look forward to speaking with you very soon. Thanks so much, and hey, happy selling.